You know, they're selling you all wolf tickets, people. You're eating them right up.
Hey, pussy, are you still there?
I back. Trust me, I back.
But I'm not impressed by your performance.
You'll do nothing. You'll do nothing. Shut your fucking mouth, you'll do nothing. You'll do fucking nothing. Not one of you will do nothing.
I'll tell you what, bro. You know, I was out there, I was fighting all the hitters, bro. You ain't fought no hitters.
Come on, guys. It's normal.
I'm not saying I would fight you. I would kill you.
John, do you think I'm just gonna sit there and let you kill me, John? I mean, really?
No, don't be scared, homie.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the fuck he wants.
I'm gonna beat you into the living death. I mean, maybe that's your job, but where I come from, you know, people like that get slapped.
That's fucking illegal.
Next year, you just shook up the world.
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
Yeah, this is a simulated death match. And you haven't simulated anybody's death yet.
I said it last year. We're not here just to take part. We're here to take over.
What is the game plan going in against him?
The game plan is you go in there, hit him with some good shit, don't get hit, and come home with a pocket full of cash.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Everybody's on steroids. The whole UFC, everybody.
I'm gonna go home tonight. I'm gonna drink a Coors Light. That's a Coors Light because Bud Light won't pay me nothing.
Do you want to be a fighter? That is my question.
Any of you radio personalities think you want smoke? Call me Mr. Chimney. I want smoke.
Yes. What is up? What is up, MCR family? Another Saturday edition of Immediate Reaction. Call in 323-870-4051 to get on the show. If you are international, if you are in the UK or somewhere else and you want to call in internationally, email me, mixedcombatradio@gmail.com, and get that international call-in link. But yes, let's get into it, because obviously it's Ryan Garcia versus Carlos Morales, Immediate Reaction show. Man, it's gonna be one of those shows where I want to be nice, but there's a lot to critique here. There's a lot to dissect in this fight. I feel like everyone would probably echo what I'm going to say and my take on this fight, my analysis on it, but I definitely want to hear yours. So again, call in 323-870-4051. There's going to be no call-in time for the show, so whenever you want to call in, get your points off, call in. You know, it's late. If you're in the East Coast and it's 12:30 at night right now, call in right now. I will take your call. I will shut up, and you will take the floor. Don't worry about it. But until then, I will take the floor, and I will address it. In the meantime, hit the like button, share the show, subscribe. Make sure if you're listening on podcast form, leave a review on iTunes, and also just share the show as well. Exposure does help, word of mouth, and also patreon.com/Mixed Combat Radio to help support the channel in any sort of way. Quickly shout out everyone in the chat: MB, Pittsburgh Brew, Drew, Banana. Who else? Who else is there? The Prospect, Aaron Munoz, newly Patreon right there. Main Event Mark, Ferngoli. Hope everyone's having a great night. Hope everyone enjoyed the fights. Let's get into it. And I'm going to talk about some of the undercard as well. Not all of the undercard, but I will talk about some of it. But obviously the main event is what you're here for. Ryan Garcia versus Carlos Morales, winning by majority decision. 2 scorecards of 98-92 and 1 scorecard 95-95 even. I think it's probably a little bit closer to that. I thought, like most people, I had Carlos Morales winning around 4 rounds. Round 7 onward, he pretty much won handily, I want to say. Seemed to have hurt Ryan Garcia a couple times. Even Ryan Garcia seemed to have clipped him a few times as well. This is one of those fights where Carlos Morales is a guy that does not have the specific tools to beat Ryan Garcia. He has enough tools to make it an ugly fight and play spoiler. Pittsburgh Brew said in the chat earlier, Carlos Morales put it on Alberto Machado and gave him a tough fight, which is true. Even though if you go back on BoxRec, it says unanimous decision. That fight was much closer than people want to probably think about and give it credit for. Go back and watch that fight to get probably more of a context of what Carlos Morales is. He's a spoiler. He's a guy that really doesn't have power. He doesn't really throw out volume. There's not a specific expertise he has when it comes to boxing. But he's decent in almost every category. And plus, he does have a pretty decent amateur pedigree as well. I think losing the Pan Am Games a couple times in the finals, similar to, let's say, Ryan Garcia, who he obviously fought today, losing a couple national championship fights against Devin Haney, never winning one because of that. There's some similarities there. But Ryan Garcia, let me get the good out of the way before I start really critiquing what he did in the ring. Obviously his speed and power is just obvious. At 135 pounds, you can tell he's faster than probably most people there. You can tell that he does have insane power when he does land it, when he does actually throw in combination. His particular shots that he's obviously very fond of, that check hook, the pullback right hand, are pretty good. But other than that, there's not much that we can really, take away from this fight and say, okay, this is improvements. Because there aren't really that. Ryan Garcia, I was looking in this fight to see if he add any level of pivots to his defensive game. Any, at all. It doesn't have to be as good as like a Canelo where he pivot out like the Triple G right hands all the time. It doesn't have to be as good as that. But there was seemingly none of that. I think I can only count one time where he slipped a shot and pivot out to reset. One time in a 10-round fight. And this is a guy that still is a credentialed amateur fighter. It's not like he is coming in here with zero amateur experience and he's learning on the fly. That's not the case here. He was close to going to the Olympics. He was close to winning national championships. He was an elite amateur boxer. So you would think that he could make these improvements, and he hasn't. Also, his upright stance is still a major fundamental issue. He has not added really any level of head movement. He still doesn't really slip and parry shots at all. Defensively, what he wants to do is get his guard up to maybe block a shot and then hold you, hope to reset after that. That's his entire defensive skill set, is that move. He doesn't parry shots, doesn't block them really. Again, there's lack of pivots, lack of lateral movement. The amount of times he just backs straight up is utterly ridiculous, to be quite honest, at his skills, at his pedigree, so to speak. It's honestly frustrating to watch because obviously he is an athlete. Like, he has such an athletic, natural talent, and again, he has the power. When you have power and speed like that, the technique should follow. And now at 16 fights, I have not seen really any drastic improvement in any iteration of Ryan Garcia we've seen. None. We still see the same Ryan Garcia. He still throws the same 3 punches. We're lucky if he throws a 3-punch combination, and guaranteed that 3-punch combination is a 1-2-3 all upstairs. He never goes to the body. There's just a lot to critique here. And again, it's not that Ryan Garcia is this bum. That's not the case. Ryan Garcia is still good. But the hype train needs to slow down a bit. We need to pull over at the rest stop, guys. You need to get some drinks, some snacks, revitalize the system, something. Get a new roadmap, anything. Maybe he should really look into a new coach. And again, I don't know much about his coaching staff, his team. I don't know. I'll be honest. But it's obviously not working. If you're not improved, and again, fighters this young, you should see that drastic improvement. When you look at, let's say, a little B-Hop, a Devin Haney, a Shakur Stevenson, we've seen improvements all the way through. Though I will say there's a drastic thread there of young fighters not being able to lead right now. I don't know what that is, but that seems to be a case. Ryan Garcia, a guy that should be the guy coming forward. Ryan Garcia's got his best work in this entire fight coming forward. And yet, over and over again, he would land a shot, land a 1-2, whatever it is. And then instead of continuing that engagement, continuing the offense, he decides, nope, I'm going to disengage and back straight up for no reason. Back straight up to the fucking corner. Every time. It's just, again, it needs to be fixed here completely. Drew saying that he has a garage-style training. Yeah, that needs to change. It all needs to change. He needs to go to a legit trainer. To be honest, what I saw in the crowd, I want to say I saw some Canelo Alvarez coaching staff there in attendance. I don't know if they had a fighter on the card or what, but that's a team you would look at. They've like Eddie Reynoso has obviously instilled some really good defensive technique to Canelo. Maybe that's a team he goes to. Something. He needs to do something here. Because obviously he has stagnated in his progress. And again, I know I've seen people in the chat saying he's young, he has time to improve. He does. But if you're not taking the right steps to improve, you never will. Regardless of you being young. Regardless of how much natural talent you have. If you're not taking the necessary steps to improve, how will you actually improve? Again, call in 323-870-4051. Carlos Morales, though, I don't know what really is left for him. He's going to be kind of this guy that's meant to be a B-side ringer at this point. Him losing to Ryan Garcia is not that great, to be honest. I would say also kind of hurts Alberto Machado's win over him as well. Remember, Ron, press 1 if you want to get in the queue. I see you there. You have to press 1 to let me know you actually want to get on. And again, the hype is not necessarily misplaced because obviously Ryan Garcia has a massive following, and that's good. I really think that's a good thing. However, again, it's sort of along the lines of you need to take steps to make improvement before we can just say you're young, you're going to improve. Well, you have this massive following. We can't say you're going to become something and capitalize off that massive following until you take the steps to actually do it. And now we have 2 fights in a row where he looks a little bit suspect. He doesn't look completely there. He doesn't look like the complete package yet. Again, I think a camp change is drastically in order. A fighter this young should be showing improvements. And the fact that he's not is, again, quite alarming to say the least. I'm going to go over to Ron, the mastermind, over at TBV. Make sure you go check out, obviously, that amazing channel. Ron, how you doing, man? Ron, are you muted?
Yo.
Yes.
Hi, man. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear
okay,
you.
I was listening to the show and it's delayed. But what's up, man? Yeah, I was going to speak that Ryan Garcia, I know he's young, but like you were saying earlier, he does have a pretty intense amateur background. He's like 215 or 230 fights in. Mm-hmm. So it's not something like, okay, he's young, he's learning and stuff. I think what a lot of people is failing to realize is that he's talking the talk, he's trying to walk the walk, and that's just what's following with this whole situation. He's talking about the Gervonta Tank Davis. Gervonta became a champion, in 2021. Erickson Lubin, I know he lost to Charlo, but, he was up there. He was fighting better competition. He was looking like the goods. People were picking him to beat against Charlo. Ryan Garcia, there's a lot of fundamental issues that he still needs to work on. So all the hype and all the things like that, I think a lot of people have caught on after these 2 fights. And, he needs to learn how to fight in the inside. He needs to know how to throw better combinations besides just lead hook, right hook, straight right going in. He needs to also know how to be the aggressor in these type of fights, learn how to fight in the inside. There's just too many problems. And like you said, he's leading his head up, and he's also pulling his head back. There's just so many fundamental things that at this point in his career, he beat Virgil Ortiz and, in the amateurs, like he's a good fighter too. He looks better right now as a pro than Ryan Garcia. And Agreed. He's also a golden boy, but they're not going to give him like the proper introduction to the casuals or like, I don't even think they're televising this fight anywhere. Hopefully maybe Facebook on the Canelo Triple G undercard. So it's like, they need to really invest into his training camp if they're going to do this. Like, I understand he's learning. Last fight, I gave him a pass. I was hoping he would come in, do something. He, if not, looked worse just because the fact that he had a fight like that before, and he still looks like this. So, I don't know. And they're bringing up Gervonta Tank Davis' name. Like, I just don't like where this is going. I don't know. I was just I wasn't surprised, but I was pretty upset, man. I was just hoping to see that one little extra more thing that just show me one more new thing. Just be like, okay, he gets it. But
I literally
it's not
came into
happening.
this fight before it even started thinking to myself, I just want to see improvement. I just want to see one thing that he improved on. That's all I care about is improvement. And he didn't show that.
Yeah, exactly. And like you named a whole bunch of stuff. I named a whole bunch. It was the fact that I wasn't really looking for him to come in and knock this guy out. Like I wasn't trying to be unrealistic. I was just trying to come in and go, cool, what did you learn? You know, if you showed great progression, I would have been like, oh, perfect, this is the direction. But he's jumped into 135. I know it's his first time fighting in his weight class, they're saying, but dude, Teofimo Lopez is in his weight class, you know? They're not that much different in age. He's 135, just turned 21. Ryan Garcia is 20.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand this whole he's young, you know? Devin Haney is technically younger than him, and he looks way better than he does.
And then
Even though Ryan
you
lost
said
to
it.
an
He
Go
has
ahead.
230 amateur fights. It's like 215 wins and like 15 losses. The guy has an insane amateur career. Like it's like you said, he's not young. Like that narrative needs to end. He is structurally not fixing his game. His camp is not right. Those things are not working, and that is the obvious thing. It's not about him being young, not knowing the game. He knows the game, but he's not having the right teacher teach him the game.
Exactly, 100%. And and I'm just kind of looking at it. I mean, the Rooster, the guy below, was the highlight of my night. I was like, yo,
yes,
this guy
yes.
literally made it worth you watching this Facebook thing, because Gallimore didn't look good either.
Nico Macias, I think is his name, or Macias, threw over 1,000 punches in 7 rounds. And I think it was round 4, he threw 199 punches. Insane stuff. That is definitely a guy to watch in the super welterweight division.
Yeah, that was pretty much the highlight of my night. I already knew watching after watching that fight, like, unless Ryan knocks this guy out and shows fundamental improvement, this is going to be the best fight of the night.
Agreed.
And it was.
Anything else,
So,
Ron?
what were you going to say?
I say anything else?
Oh, I was going to make the joke. I texted you, I don't know, but I should have watched the Victor Women's Championship.
Agreed. If it wasn't Ryan Garcia and he didn't have like 1 million followers, I would have. But it's Ryan Garcia and he has 1 million followers.
Yeah, you have to watch it. Business. You just want to see how he does. So he got me to watch it. But I'm gonna go watch the Victor fights and stuff. But keep it going, Matt. You're working really hard. Everyone, if you haven't subscribed to his channel, support, like, anything helps his channel out. But all right, Matt. Take care.
Obviously, go check out Ron and his own channel, Fighter IQ, and obviously the channel, The Boxing Voice. We have a 111 all-one caller that usually is international, I want to say, or something like that, or it's a troll call. So this should be fun. 111. Who is this?
Fuck you.
You are 12 years old. I bet that was Rob's son. And really? Like that's fuck you. Fuck you. That's all you got? Psh.
I want smoke.
Where you at? And just so you know, he dropped off. Or the little kid dropped off. But anyways, have your mommy take away your phone, please. But digressing, I want to head to that Nico Macias fight because that was utterly insane. His inside work was just something to behold. Like, it really was. The amount of combinations he would throw, his punch selection, it was old school in style, but it was just beautiful to watch. It truly was. That style of putting your head on somebody's chest and just throwing combinations, rolling side to side with the punches, and then on top of that, throwing that amount, it's never been done before, I want to say. Santiago saying that was so damn weak. It was. Pittsburgh Brews saying that was Billy Joe Saunders' kid. That is funny. No one won. You cannot come back. Bye, little kid. I'll talk to your mom later. But anyways, it was just funny to me because Marvin Cabrera was the guy that I thought was where Golden Boy wanted to win. He was the guy in the Hispanic market, undefeated record. It would be interesting to see what Golden Boy had in mind for a guy like him. I think Nico Macias, even though he has an undefeated record and twice the fights, I think he was called in here as the tough undefeated B-side, to be quite honest. Could be wrong about that, and somebody please call in, disagree with me if you want. 323-870-4051. Press 1 to get in the queue, or call in internationally by emailing me, mixcombatradio@gmail.com, and I'll give you the international call-in link. But digressing, Macias, to me, just had not a star-making performance, but a breakout performance. The entire boxing community, especially maybe the media, as hardcores, we now peg him as a guy to watch. And in the 154-pound division with guys like Jaime Munguia, which is under the same promotional banner potentially, there's a lot that could be had here, let alone a Jarrett Hurd fight, which would be fucking amazing. Like, there's a lot to be made here for a guy like Nico Macias with his style that could be just all-action fun fights. I don't know what his ceiling is. He doesn't have the highest knockout ratio. He definitely doesn't seem to have that power. He is definitely a, kill you by 1,000 blows sort of guy. And this was an 8-rounder. At 12 rounds, can he keep up this pace? If he can't, does he have enough technical acumen to not be caught on the inside with somebody that's better than him, that has the power and speed to really catch him? I'm curious about that. Obviously, that's going to be the big indicator of really what he can do. Because I think even though, obviously, like a guy like Ezra Laura with his defensive skill, his back foot game, he could definitely, I think, just be on the back foot, just outboxing Macias, pivoting all night. But again, I think by the time we get to that level, he should be able to cut off the ring a little bit better. If he can't, another big issue for him. But he's an all-action guy. He's a guy that's fun, entertaining. He had a rat tail, like Costa Zoo, so I will always support that. Moving on to the last fight we're going to talk about before we wrap up. So if you want to call in, get your points across 323-870-4051. After I talk about this fight, I'm gonna roll out of here because it is late. Nathaniel Gallimore losing to Patrick Teixeira in a fight that I was kind of shocked by. I thought Gallimore had the firepower to get Teixeira maybe out of here or at least win the fight. And to me, again, sort of along the line of Ryan Garcia, Nathaniel Gallimore has shown really no improvement in the time that I've been watching him. A guy that defensively is extremely flawed. No head movement. Doesn't parry shots. Doesn't slip shots. Doesn't roll with shots. Doesn't do simple defensive skills or techniques to evade your opponent's offense. And on top of that, offensively, he had nothing in terms of volume. Nothing. Rarely threw combinations. Stuck to single shots. Would come forward and just do nothing with his real estate, with the real estate win that he would have. Because he would get Teixeira to the ropes in the corner consistently, but just do nothing with it. And Teixeira, to his credit, looked better. His combination boxing has improved. His overall punch selection has improved as well, I would say. His punch variety was far better than Gallimore. But then again, every time Gallimore would throw, there was a gigantic power difference. And I was thinking throughout the entire fight, man, if Gallimore would just throw in combination, if he would just get out of this whatever style he's in, where he thinks he can have the high guard up, walk forward, and throw one shot and potentially knock out your opponent to the body. That style, that game plan, if he just got out of that, it would have been interesting to see what would have happened. It's unfortunate because he is a guy that seemed to have a lot, not necessarily talent, but could have been a guy to be at least a contender at some level. It would have been interesting. I thought he did fairly well against J-Rock, even in a losing affair. And to me, this was a digression from form, in my opinion, for Gallimore. Now, again, Patrick Teixeira, improved fighter, in my opinion, in this one. But definitely, neither guy is a guy that's going to come at 154 and take over. Like these two guys are at this level, and they will stay at this level, that top 20, top 15 range, and probably make a decent career out of it. But again, we have no callers left, so that'll be it for the show. You could get in now if I'm feeling generous. If you want to call in, 323-870-4051. Press 1. Get in the queue. I will stop the outro music. But Ryan Garcia, Carlos Morales, again, not much to say that's positive. Everything that we like about Ryan Garcia, all the good qualities he has as a fighter, nothing has changed. He has continued to show that. His flaws, his overall lapses in game plan, technique, IQ, everything are just there still. Zero improvement. And that, I think, is the big storyline of this weekend. The fact that Ryan Garcia got with that much hype, where if he was just, if you put the skills and the talent of a Devin Haney and the star power and the drawing power of Ryan Garcia attached to Golden Boy and Oscar, man, he would take off. But now they're going to pump the brakes. They're going to have to figure out what to do here, because they're going to take a longer road to guys like Gervonta Davis, Lomachenko, Teofimo Lopez. Those guys are going to take some bit to get to, in my opinion. Remember, hit the like button, share the show, subscribe. Be back tomorrow. Patreon-only show, championship rounds. Make sure you go leave a topic or question in the topic question post on Patreon, which is absolutely free. Even if you're not on Patreon, you can do that. And all topics and questions on that post do get answered on the show. But yes, hit the like button, share the show, subscribe, join Patreon. And Matt Tips Hunter. Find me at Matt Hunter MCR, all platforms. And have a great night. Peace.